Okay, good morning to all of you. Am I audible to all of you? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so let's start today's session. So in the last session, we were discussing acceleration analysis of a four-bar mechanism, right? So in the last session, actually, I stuck somewhere. So let's start. Let's pick up that problem again. So let me first share my PPT. So in the last session, we saw that we reached till this point, right? We saw how can we form the vector equation, then how each vector, it will be broken down into two components. That is, one is the centripetal component and another one is the tangential component. So these things we discussed. So I hope like till this point, everything is clear to all of you, right? How to form vector equation. Then next we discuss okay, write down all the vectors into a tabular form, right? So that we can keep a record of which vectors we have drawn and which vector we have to draw, right? So now here I calculated all these vectors, right? Let's say FBAC, then FBA tangential, then FCB centripetal, then FCB tangential, then FCD centripetal, FCD tangential, right? So then I checked that, okay, which vectors are possible to calculate in magnitude and direction and which are not, right? So we found that this component FBAC, right, FBAT, then FCBC, FCDC, FCD, and sorry, so FBAT and then FCDC, right? So almost these vectors, they are completely known in magnitude and direction. Only these two vectors, let's FCBT, that is the centripetal acceleration of C relative to B in the tangential direction, and the centripetal acceleration of C relative to the in the tangential direction. Only these two components, they are not known in magnitude, but still we have the directions of these two components, right? So here last time, actually, I think one of the students, he also pointed out that, sir, you have done a mistake here, right? So can anyone just guess like with what mistake I have done here?
Sir, instead of tangential, you wrote centripetal, and instead of centripetal, you wrote tangential.
Right. So very good. Right. So it was a minor mistake here. That's why like it created a slight confusion. Right. So now let me just correct that. So basically, here I made the mistake. Okay, let us just cross this, right? So here basically I did the mistake. The centripetal component, I denoted it by the tangential vector, right? So now this component will be basically, the centripetal component will be A1 BA vector, right? So this is actually very easy to guess. So I committed this mistake somehow, but this is very easy to guess because the centripetal acceleration, it will be always directed from B towards A, right? Because we are checking the centripetal acceleration of point B relative to A. So we know the centripetal acceleration is always directed towards the center. So that's why it will be denoted as A1 BA vector, right? And this vector FBA tangential, it will be basically BA PN vector. So the tangential vector, it will consist of almost the similar letters, same letters, correct? So now let us go ahead. Here also, I think I did the same mistake. So here, basically, this will be B1 CB vector, correct? And then this will be tangential will be CB C1 vector. So basically the tangential component, it will be denoted by the vector which is going to contain same letters, right? Only the superscripts, they are going to change, right? So this mistake actually I did last time. So now just correct it here. Again, this will be D1 CD because this is the centripetal component. So it will be D1 CD vector, right? And here it will be CD C1 vector, right? So the remaining things are same, right? The only thing like which you have to figure out that if you observe this table very carefully, that the centripetal components, they are always possible to calculate from the velocity diagram. So this thing you have to just remember, right? So here if you see, if you draw the velocity diagram, you know the velocity of point B relative to A. Similarly, you know the velocity of point C relative to B, and similarly you know the velocity of point C relative to D. So the centripetal components, they are always possible to calculate from the velocity diagram. Only this tangential components which you are seeing there, right? So these are not possible to calculate because we don't know the magnitude of angular acceleration for, let's say, link CB and link CD, right? So that's why they are not possible to calculate. So just keep these things in mind, right? So now let us start drawing this velocity diagram. Right. So let us start drawing the acceleration diagram. So velocity diagram, I think you already know how to draw all those things, right? So I will just now move directly to the acceleration diagram. So first of all, just locate the pole point. So the pole point is A1, comma D1, right? Now, first of all, draw this vector, right? The first vector in the table. So this is the centripetal acceleration of point B relative to A. So it is basically A1BA vector. So A1BA vector, that means this vector is going to start with this point A1, right? Now, this vector should be parallel to this link AB, correct? Because the centripetal acceleration of B relative to A, it will be directed towards this center A. That means this will be the direction, right? So now just draw a line, just take a suitable scale and then calculate the vector and then draw a line, right? That is going to be parallel to this link AB, right? So now this will be your A1BA, correct? Now we all know the direction, right? You can mark the direction in the configuration diagram as well, right? Just for simplicity. So you simply put the vector A1BA like this, right? Now we will draw the next vector in the table. So the next vector is BA-B1 vector, right? So this is the basically tangential acceleration of point B relative to A, right? So B1BA, sorry, BA-B1 vector, that means it is going to start from this point BA, correct? So now just draw a straight dotted line, right? That is going to be perpendicular to this AB, right? So now this will be the tangential component. This will be the direction of tangential component. So now you just draw a line that is going to be perpendicular to AB, right? So now this will be BA B1 vector. So this is going to mark our point B1. Now you simply join right? So this is our A1 B1 vector, right? That is the acceleration of point B relative to A, right? The total acceleration of point B relative to A, right? Now let us go ahead and then let us draw again this vector B1 CB vector. See, now you have the point B1, so you can very yeah, any question? So you can see easily guess the connection that, see, one vector is ending with BA, then another vector is starting with the same letter, right? So here also it is, if you observe, this is ending with B1 and the next vector again it is starting with this B1, right? So now we will draw this vector B1 CB vector. So now we have this point B1, right? Now just calculate the magnitude of this, right? So the magnitude of this is available to us. So choose a proper scale, calculate the magnitude, and you also know the direction. So the direction is basically parallel to BC. So now let us draw this vector. Right? So this is our BC somewhere here. So let me centripetal acceleration. Right. So this will be our B1 CB. Which is going to be parallel to this length BC. So now this is our B1 CB, correct? Now you see this B1 CB, it is parallel to this link BC. Now the next component is CBC1. Now this is one confusion here because we don't know the magnitude, right? The direction is only known. So the direction is saying that it will be perpendicular to BC, but we are not aware of the magnitude. So now what we are going to do, we will just draw a dotted line that is going to be perpendicular to this BC, right? And we will leave this dotted line as it is for now, right? So we will just draw a dotted line that is going to be perpendicular to BC. And obviously this line, it is going to pass through which point? Because we are drawing the vector CBC1. We are interested in drawing the vector CBC1. So that means this line, it is going to pass through this point CB, right? So just draw a line that is going to be perpendicular to BC. That's it, right? Now, here again we will be moving to the next vector. So the next vector is FCD, that is the centripetal acceleration of C relative to D. So it is basically D1 CD vector, right? So now we again know the magnitude as well as the direction. So D1 CD is basically parallel to this link CD, correct? So now D1 point we already know, and then we just draw a line which is going to be parallel to this link CD. So let us say this is my D1 CD point, right? Now just tell me here, right? See, if you observe these two vectors, that is the fourth vector CBC1 and CDC1. So just tell me which is the common point in both the vectors. So which is the common letter? Huh?
Point C.
So CBC1, then CDC1. So which is the common
C1.
letter? C1,
C1.
correct? So the C1 is common to both the vectors. That means we can use these two vectors. So I have already told you so many times that if you don't know the magnitude of two vectors, but the direction of those two vectors are known, then you are able to locate the common letter, that is the common point C1, and you can easily guess the magnitude of these two vectors, right, using the directions. So these things we already discussed in the velocity diagram. So the same thing we have to do here also, right? So can anyone just tell me what should be my next step, right? So obviously I located this D1 CD because it was known in magnitude and direction, right? So now D1 CD, it was known to me. So I simply draw that, okay, D1 CD, fine, right? Now I have this point CD, right? Now I have to draw another vector, that is CD C1 vector, correct? So just tell me, but I just know the direction of this vector. So just tell me, how can I locate using these two vectors? How can I locate this common point C1? So just tell me what should be my next step. Can anyone guess what should be my next step?
Like for both, we have the direction, like it is perpendicular to BC and perpendicular to DC. So we can find from that.
So what should I do next here? See, what I did here? I knew this point CB, correct? Then I knew the direction that okay, this B1 CB vector, it is going to be perpendicular to, oh sorry, this CBC1 vector, it is going to be perpendicular to BC. So what I did, I simply draw a line through this point CB that is going to be perpendicular to BC. So in a similar way, what now you need to do, simply, because you already located this point CD, correct? And you are interested to locate this point C1 basically. So now this is very easy. Through this point CD, now you draw a line that is going to be perpendicular to this TC, correct? So now let me draw this. Right. So now these 2 points, they are going to intersect where? They are going to intersect at this particular point. So what will be this point? Just tell me. What will be the name of this point?
T1.
So it will be
T1.
C, right? So it's now very easy. So now you have located this point C1. So now just complete the vector diagram. Now this is your CD C1, right? And then this is your CB C1, right? And then finally, you are interested to find out the velocity of C relative to A. So what you need to do, you just join this point C. You just join this point C with this point. That's it. Right? So now this will, acceleration of C relative to A, FCA vector is simply equal to A1 C1 vector. So you just measure this length, right? And then convert it to an appropriate scale, and then finally calculate the acceleration of this point C relative to A. So this is how like you build the acceleration diagram. So this is very easy. The only thing like you have to keep in mind it, this table, right? And just keep into mind like these notations. Sometimes these notations could be confusing. So see here I have just remember this point that when you are talking of centripetal acceleration, so it will be always directed towards B. So now this will be A1 BA vector, right? Then only we can like conceive that, we can realize that okay, it is directed towards B, from A towards B, right? So that is my point, right? So now acceleration of B relative to A. So now just remember this. How will you denote this? Now it will be A1, right? Then acceleration of B relative to A. So it will be BA. And then the tangential vector, you just start with this letter, BA B1 vector, right? So you can actually go for easy ways also. But I think that is this is also fine. Like you can do in this way because it resembles our like your theory of machines book, these notations, right? So by SSS, so that is actually easier for your practice. So just remember these things, right? So once you draw this table, everything becomes very easy. Right? Now let us move ahead and just let us try to find out the velocity of this point E, right? Now I'm interested to find out the velocity of point E. So how can I do this? Can anyone just tell me? How can I do this? How to find out the velocity of point E? So in the if you remember, like when we used to draw the velocity diagram, right? Then how did we calculated the velocity of this intermediate point E? So what was the process through which we
The
calculated?
velocity of BC by BC equals to velocity of BE by BE.
So very good. Now this is see very easy. So once you see here the acceleration, now the acceleration of point C relative to B is known. So just join this with, let's say, a dotted line, right? So you know the acceleration of this point C relative to B. So C1 B1 is, so you just join this line, C1 B1 is completely known to us. So now what you do, you simply take this ratio, that is B1 by BC is equal to, that is BE divided by BC is equal to B1 E1, right, divided by B1 C1. So or you can call C1 B1 whatever you want to say, right? So this is just like the thing is that the direction could be changed, but since we are interested in located this point E1, right? So this point E, the acceleration of E relative to A, this thing we are interested in, right? So once you relate this point E, locate this point E on this vector B1 C1, so it doesn't matter like what is the direction, because we ultimately know the direction of this will be A1 E1, like this one. So I will show you, right? So now the velocity of point you can simply calculate in this way. Now from here you just simply calculate B1 E1 is equal to BE by BC multiplied by B1 C1. So B1 C1 is completely known, right? And then right, so now B1 C1 is completely known, and then the lengths B, BC are also known to us, right? So just put this, calculate the magnitude of this B1 E1. So once you calculate this magnitude, so B1 E1, so just draw that length on this vector B1 C1 somewhere here. So this will be, let's say, your point E1. So now you just take the direction like this, right? So this will be your direction. So the point acceleration of point E1 relative to E1. So this is how you are going to calculate the velocity of intermediate point. Now, just tell me, how are you going to calculate the velocity of point F? So this is also very similar to the velocity diagram only. So just tell me, like now I am interested to calculate the velocity of point F. So this point. So can anyone just tell how shall I proceed into this case?
In velocity analysis, we did like df plus ab equals to cf plus dc. Similarly,
That means you also need to form the vector equation here, right? So again, you need to form the vector equation to solve this problem, right? So now how to form the vector equation? Just tell me what will be the vector equation. So see, we are always interested to calculate the velocity of this point F relative to any fixed point, right? Either you can say A or D. So now it will be, let's say I am taking the acceleration of point F relative to A, right? A vector, sorry, F a vector, that is equal to, now just tell me how to complete this vector equation. So what should I write next here?
FB plus BA.
Very good, right? So now this is very easy. See, since the acceleration of point B and C, they both are known in our in the acceleration diagram, right? So we know the acceleration of point C also relative to A1, and then we know the acceleration of point B also relative to this point A, right? So both are known. So now you can take any vector equation. You can go through this link as well. You can go through this link as well, right? So I'm just taking this one, right? So FA vector, that is going to be equal to, right? So this will be FB, right? Very simple, plus FBA, right? So why are we going into this way? Because we already know that the acceleration of this point B is now known to us, right? So we can utilize that to find out basically the acceleration of this point F, right? Now just tell me that this FA vector, correct? So this FA vector, it will be written down something like this, A1 F1, right? So this is now very easy. So if you take this one, this will be written as B1 F1, right? And if you take this one, this will be written as A1 B1. So if you observe, A1 B1 is completely known into this acceleration diagram, right? So this is known in magnitude, right, as well as direction, right? Now come to this, right? A1 F1, sorry, come to this B1 F1. So again, I am taking this B1 F1. See, this B1 F1, that is the acceleration of F relative to B. Again, it will have two components, correct? So again, it is going to have two components. So what are those two components? So first will be, can anyone just tell what will be those two components? How to write it? Write it down.
A1 FA and FA F1.
A1 FA. See, I am trying to break down this component. So it doesn't contain the letter A.
So yes, sir, I am talking about the left hand side component A1 F1.
Okay. So for now, let's say like just talk about this, right? So then we will go to this one. Don't worry. So but let's like first break down this one. Right? B1 F1.
So it will be the B1 FB and FB F1.
Right. So very good. So this will be simply what? B1 FB. This will be your what? Which component? See, this is now very obvious that we are looking into the acceleration of F relative to B. So that is why it is acceleration of F relative to B. So B1 FB. So this is which component? Can anyone tell? Centripetal or tangential? This is which component? Centripetal.
Centripetal.
So see, the acceleration of F, right, relative to B. So this is basically the centripetal component because it will be always directed towards this point B. So if you see here, this vector, it will always be directed towards this point B, correct? So now this is basically B1 FB. This is the centripetal component plus FB. Now this will be your tangential component, right? FB F1 vector, right? Plus A1 B1 vector. Right? Now, just tell me here, again, see, we already know that this one is completely known in magnitude and direction. Now let us come to this, right? B1 FB, right? So can anyone just tell this is this vector, right? FB vector, is it completely known in magnitude and direction? B1 FB. Just think about that. So if you go to our table, what I told you, that centripetal component, they are always possible to calculate from the velocity diagram, right? So just tell me here. So which component? So let's start with this one. Is it known completely in magnitude and direction?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yes. So how?
So direction will be parallel to FB.
Right. So the direction will be known, and what will be the magnitude?
FB square upon capital FB.
Right. So now, since we have the velocity diagram, right? So now it is very easy to guess that this vector magnitude, that is B1 FB vector, right? So B1 FB vector is simply equal to what? FB square. Oh, I'm sorry, not FB. Or you can take, it doesn't matter because we are taking the magnitude, so it doesn't matter, right? So BF is square divided by BF, and we know the direction that is going to be parallel to FB. So this acceleration will be directed towards B. So the direction is completely known to us, right? Now, let us move to the next one, right? FBFN vector. So this FBFN vector known to us or not? Now, this is like a slightly tricky part, right? Do we know FBF1 vector? So obviously this is the acceleration of point F relative to B, the tangential component, and this is the acceleration of point F relative to B, the centripetal component. So can anyone just tell, is it possible to calculate this FBF1 vector?
We don't have magnitude, but we have the direction.
So we don't have magnitude and we have the direction. So see, one way is that you form two vector equations. So once you form this vector equation, and the next vector equation you form relative to this C, that is the acceleration of point C, FFC vector is equal to F, right? Sorry, FA vector, or you can say FD vector is equal to FFC vector plus FCD vector. So here also you will find out that, okay, you will get a component, let's say like FBF1, something here, right? So here you will basically get a component FCF1, something like this, right? So what you can do, that you take the directions of these two components, FBF1 and FCF1, and you find out the intersection point, and then you can locate this point F1, right? That is our target. We want to locate this point F1. That's it, correct? And this CD vector, this is already completely known, right? So FCD vector is completely known into this diagram. So this is that C1D1 is the CD vector, right? So either you follow that approach, right? Now there the difficulty is that you have to form two vector equations. So that approach is also accurate. That is also suitable. Another way is, can anyone just guess? Like, okay, you just told me that we don't know the alpha, right? We don't know the alpha value. So if I see here, the acceleration of point F relative to B in the tangential direction, it is nothing. It is simply equal to, right? So if you see this acceleration, let's say this is the direction, it is simply equal to alpha multiplied by this length, R alpha. We already know, right? But we don't know the magnitude of this alpha, right? Now let me ask you, is it possible to calculate the magnitude of this alpha? So just see this diagram very carefully and just tell me, is it possible to calculate the magnitude of this alpha? So from this acceleration diagram, can we calculate the magnitude of this alpha? So let me give you a hint, right? This F is a point on link BC, correct? Now use this hint and just try to think that now is it possible to calculate the value of this alpha? So I'm just saying that this F is a point on link BC, right? And let me again like give you one more hint, that this B1 C1 vector, right? That is completely known to us. B1 C1 vector, it is known to us. So we all know that it is going to have two components. So one component will be simply it. So one component will be simply the centripetal one, right? So let me write down in this way only, right? And another component will be the tangential one, right? So just now think about this, that can we calculate the value of this alpha?
Yes, sir.
How? So good. Is it possible to calculate the value of this alpha? Why? See, this alpha is just a point on link BC, right? And we know completely the B1 C1 vector, right? So we know basically that centripetal component as well and the tangential component as well, right? So from the acceleration diagram, we have both the components, right? Now, since this F is point on link BC, so the angular acceleration of this point F, it will be equal to the angular acceleration of this link BC, correct? So now we have to just figure out what will be the angular acceleration of link BC. So angular acceleration of link BC, so we know that FCB tangential, that is going to be alpha multiplied by CB, correct? Can I write down this? So you can basically call this as alpha CB just to avoid confusion, right? So alpha CB multiplied by CB, right? So now what is this tangential component? So if you go to the acceleration diagram, right? So which one is the tangential component here? So this is looking like this is my B1 C1 here, right? So which one is the tangential component? So B1 C1 is formed from two vectors. One is CB C1 and CB B1, and another one is CB C1, right? So which is the tangential component? So see, now this is very easy to guess here, right? We already
CB.
drew the table, right? So we already drew the table. So this CB C1 vector, it is our tangential component. So basically, once you finish all this acceleration diagram, you can do one more thing. What you can do, you can calculate this angular acceleration in the table only, right? So that like to you can use that angular acceleration value for further analysis. So here you can simply calculate the angular values acceleration of this CB, that is alpha CB will be this CB C1 vector, right? The magnitude of CB C1 vector divided by CB. In a similar way, here also you can calculate that alpha CD will be equal to the magnitude of what? This CD C1 vector divided by the length of CD. Right? So now once you know this alpha, we know this alpha is now known. Now you can put this alpha and you can calculate this tangential component, right? So the tangential component is simply FB1 vector. So once you know the magnitude of this tangential component, right? So you just go here, right? And then just draw those two vectors, and then you can easily find out the look this point F1. So let me draw this. So this is your B1, correct? Now, first of all, I'm going to draw B1 FB, right? So B1 FB is going to be basically directed from F towards B. So now I'm going to draw a line that is going to be parallel to this FB, right? So now this is very simple. Just draw a line that is going to be parallel to this FB. So this is B1 FB. Then draw another line that is going to be perpendicular to this FB, right? So this is very easy, right? So because we know the magnitude, right? So now this is your basically FB F1, right here, FB F1, and just join this. So this will be your B1 F1 vector. And since you are interested to find out the acceleration of F relative to A, so just join this point A1 with F1, right? So now A1 F1 is basically your acceleration which you need, correct? So I think like the important point here is just calculate the magnitudes, directions, and then just choose a proper scale. That the most important point is that choosing a proper scale, right? See, when you have engineering drawing sheets, so those sheets are very big. So there you can choose like any lengthy scale or any larger scale, and you can easily build this, right? But when you draw it on your smaller sheets or something, right, then it actually creates a difficulty. So there you have to very appropriately choose the like skill, so that none of the lines, none of the vectors, they go beyond the extent of your like paper, right? So these things like you have to keep into mind. Otherwise, like it's very simple. It's not very like tough thing. You have to simply remember, memorize the magnitude and direction of vectors, nothing else, right? So let us move ahead.
Sir, here how did you find that F is on link BC?
Yeah.
Sir, how are you able to locate F point? You have written that F is a point on link BC.
Yeah, see, this is a simple complete link, that is BFC, right? This is a, if you see, this is a ternary link, right here. So sorry, I think, yeah, I think it's a ternary link, right? So no. I'm sorry. It's a binary link. I think like these two sides, they are connected to two different links, right? So this link BFC, it is a single link, right? So that's why I was able to like find out that this F, it is a point on basically link BC, right? So because this is this entire link BCF, right? This is a single link only. That's why. So
Okay,
now
sir.
it's clear,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay, let us go ahead and try to solve like one more for a slider crank mechanism. So I think like let's take that problem as well, and then things will become more clear. Okay, so let us take one more example, and this is for basically related to slider crank mechanism. Okay, so what is given here? Given is that this crank OA is rotating with constant angular speed omega, right? Now to find out is basically the velocity of a slider. Oh, sorry. So the velocity of a slider, let's say you can say this also, right? No problem. So this will be, we already saw that with this thing we can calculate from the velocity diagram. So see, for drawing this acceleration diagram, calculating this velocity diagram actually is, it becomes a like necessity, right? Because it will give you the centripetal acceleration component as we saw in the previous cases. And the next is acceleration of slider. Correct? So this is O, B, and then this fixed link is also denoted as G. Okay, so now just tell me like where to start this, right? How to start this? What should be my first step?
So write the centripetal and the tangential vectors.
So what I always did in the previous cases for velocity diagram, for acceleration diagram,
First,
what I
from the
used to do,
equation.
right? So the first step is to form the vector equation. Always remember, right? So because that makes the thing problem like easier. So form the vector equation. So just tell me what will be the vector equation for this? See, whenever I say that, okay, you have to form the vector equation. So just blindly, just remember this, right? So first of all, you are interested in calculating the acceleration of slider. That's it. Then just blindly form the vector equation, considering that you have to find out the acceleration of this point B, right? Which is on the slider relative to some fixed point, right? So that fixed point in this case is either O and G, right? So see, now we are going through this route, right? That the acceleration of B relative to O. Why? Because we need to include this particular link OA, right? Because at least for that, the angular speed is known to us. So this is the route like which you have to follow. This is very easy. So just tell me what will be the vector equation quickly, right?
OB equals to OA plus AB.
FBO, right? So just tell me in this notation form, right? So the
FBO
acceleration
equals to
relative to O, that is going to be
FBA plus
acceleration of B relative to A, very good, plus
FBO.
F
FAO.
A, very good. So now this is simple, the vector equation. So first you write down in this way, right? Then you go for like this notation, letter notation. Otherwise, like it will create confusion. So first time you have to write it down into this way, right? So now I already told you like when such situations happen, then we can replace this FBO, right? that we can replace this FBO, right, by which vector? Can anyone just tell? So initially also we did it. So we are now interested to replace
FBG.
FBG. Very good. Right. So see, since this point B, the fixed point, right, which is closest to this point B, it is this G. Right? So immediately you replace this FBO vector with FBG vector. Nothing else. Now this is again FBA vector plus FAO vector. Right. So see, here we don't need to break down this one because this is already expression of expression of B relative to G, right? And this is going to have only one direction, that is the horizontal direction, because acceleration of B relative to G, it will always be into this direction, right? So you don't need to worry about this part, right? So now let us go for this. Again, this will be written down something like this: G1 B1 vector is equal to A1 B1 vector plus O1 A1. Right. Now let us talk about the centripetal and tangential components of this A1 B1. Right. So just tell me, it will be written I'm interested to write down first the centripetal component. So it will be written how? Like it will be A1. Then what will be what should be the next letter? A1 BA. Very good, right? Because we are looking into the acceleration of B relative to A. So this will be the centripetal component. Plus the tangential component will be BA B1 vector. So ultimately, see, this A1 and B1 letter you have to like somewhere coincide, right? Because these two are going to build your vector A1 B1 vector. So just remember this. This is very easy. So now this is your centripetal component. That is, let us mark this thing here as well, right? So this avoids the confusion. So this is centripetal component, right? And this is your basically the tangential component. Plus O1A1. Now come to this. Right. See, here there is slight twist. So now let us again go for this. So this O1A1 vector, again it is going to have two components, right? So let's say first I'm interested to write down the tangential component. So how to write it down? O1AO, right, plus AO A1, right? Acceleration of A relative to O1AO plus AOA1 vector, right? Now just tell me here. So see, this is FAO. This is the basically centripetal component, and this is FAO. This is basically the tangential component. Now here there is slight twist. So I just said initially that this crank OA, it is going to rotate at a constant angular speed, right? So this crank OA, right, it is going to rotate at constant angular speed omega. That is for this alpha is 0. So initially if you remember for 4-bar mechanism, this alpha was not 0, it was existing, but here this alpha is 0. Now just tell me here, so which component out of these two? This
The
one,
tangential will be 0.
the tangential component is going to disappear, right? So obviously this tangential component, it is simply alpha multiplied by OA, and we know this alpha is 0 for this crank OA. So you have to keep into mind for those links where it is completely written in the question that the angular speed is going to remain constant, right? You don't need to actually calculate the tangential component for that particular link, right? It will be simply 0. So you have to keep into mind this thing, right? Now it has become very easy to draw all these things. So let us start, right? So first of all, we will locate the, right? First of all, we are locate the fixed points, that is O1 G1. Now let us start drawing with this vector. Which one vector? Okay, so let me ask you. So which vector I shall draw first? कहाँ से start करें?
O1 and G1.
O1 B1. There is no vector like O1 B1. This is A1. This is A1, not
No,
O1.
sir, I am talking about that first we locate the fixed point O1 and G1.
So that
O1
I did. That I
Okay.
did. After that,
Vector O1A1.
Centripetal.
good. Very
of
good.
B.
So this is, see, very easy, that you have to first consider this vector, right? O1 A1. Why? Because this, for this the angular speed I have given, right? So now this is very easy, right? So you just again draw the table if you are like getting confused. So just draw a table, vector, then magnitude and direction, correct? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many vectors are involved here, right? Simply how much? One is this one. Sorry, this is going to be 0, right? So this disappears. So 1, 2, 3, and this 4. So total 4 vectors are involved here, right? So now let us write down these vectors. So first will be this FAOC. Why? Because I have taken the vector which is completely known in magnitude and direction. We will start with that vector first, right? So FAOC, right? So this is now O1 AO vector. Right? And then the next vector is basically, okay, centripetal one, this one. So BA centripetal. So A1 BA vector, right? And then the next vector is basically BA B1 vector, or you can say FBA tangential, that is BA B1 vector. And the last vector is simply this G1 B1. So this is basically G1 B1 vector, or you can simply say the acceleration of FB relative to G. Now coming to this O1 AO, right? So see, one thing first I would like to do, since now this O1 A1 vector, it is composed of only this term. So there is no need to write it down in this way, right? O1 AO. So you can simply replace this AO with 1 only, right? So it doesn't matter. You write it down O1 AO or let's say like O1 A1. It doesn't matter, right? Because ultimately this AO and A1 point, right? They are going to coincide because this component is 0, right? So now you just put it here O1 A1, right? So now just tell me, is the magnitude of this vector completely known to us or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
how are you going to calculate the magnitude? Either you use this angular speed which is given to you, that is OA multiplied by omega square, or you simply go to the velocity diagram, because you already drew the velocity diagram. So there is no need to like stress too much. So simply it will be OA square divided by OA, and the direction for this is parallel to OA, right? So now let us draw this. Let us write it down, and then let's start drawing it parallelly, right? So O1 A1. So first is this one, right? So now O1 A1. So this is the centripetal component. So this vector, it will be now parallel to this crank OA. We already know the direction. So let us draw this thing. Because since there is one component, so there is no need, you draw it with a solid line only. There is no need to draw it with dotted line. So this is your O1 A1, right? Now let us move to next vector, A1 BA. So see, we already located this point. So that's why like it's very easy to first go for the centripetal component, right? So that's why like we will start with the centripetal component first in the table, right? So now again, is the magnitude for this is known or not? So
Yes, sir.
yeah, so you have to just remember, just write it down in this way, right? VBA divided by AB, that is velocity of B relative to A, right? So square, sorry. So VBA square divided by AB. So we already know from the velocity diagram that this is nothing, this is AB square, or you can say the magnitude of AB vector square divided by AB, right? So the direction, what is the direction for this? That is parallel to AB, right? And we know the sense it will be directed from B towards A, right? So now again, let us go here and let us draw this vector, right? A1BA. So A1 is this point, right? And now we are interested in drawing the centripetal component. So we will basically draw this line which is parallel to this link AB. So this is your A1 BA, correct? Right? So it will be directed from B towards A. So see, you can very easily see the direction that it is directed from B towards A. So this is the direction of this vector, right? Now let us again move ahead, and finally we will have acceleration of B relative to A, that is this component. So just tell me, like, is the magnitude of this component, is it possible to find out or not? So what is the formula for this? The formula for this is simply alpha AB. So see, whenever you have such confusion, whether it is find out it is possible to find out the magnitude or not. So you just write down the formula. The formula will tell you everything. So it will be alpha AB multiplied by AB. Right. The direction we already know, it is going to be perpendicular to AB. So just tell me, like, is it possible to calculate this magnitude?
No, because alpha is not given.
Right. So now, once you wrote the formula, everything becomes clear. So this alpha is not given. So this is not possible to be known, right? And then again, you move to this vector, right? FBG vector. So this is the extension of B relative to G. So this is obvious. No formula is there. No formula exists for calculating this, right? And it is not possible to find out the magnitude, but we still know the direction that will be actually parallel to G, right? Because the acceleration of this point B related to G, it will always be parallel to G, because this point B, it is located on this slider, and this slider is also always going to move in the horizontal direction. So now let us draw these two vectors, right? So this is now very obvious that the magnitude of these two are not known, but the directions are known, right? So we will start with this BA B1. So we know this is the point BA, and now what we are going to do, we are going to draw a basically line that is going to be perpendicular to this AB, right? So you just draw this, and then finally from here you just draw a straight line, right? G1 B1, that's it. So this is going to basically locate your point B1. Now you join these two, right? So this is your A1 B1, that is the acceleration of B relative to A. And what we are interested in, we were interested in finding out the acceleration of slider. So just join this, that is B1 O1. So this will be your acceleration of slider. So now this is very easy, right? For slider crank mechanism, is not a big deal. So this will be your acceleration of a slider, and this is basically given by O1 B1 vector. So the direction also you can see here. The direction is also completely known to you, right? So although it is rotating clockwise, right? But if you observe at this particular configuration, the direction of this acceleration is in this direction, right? So it is basically one can think like, okay, since it is going to move forward, so the acceleration should be in the forward direction. But this is not true. The direction of that acceleration, it is going to be in this direction, right? So you know the concept of acceleration and retardation, all those things. So need to be get confused. Maybe if it is moving in the forward direction, then also the acceleration direction can be opposite because of retardation, right? So yeah, so till this point, I think like let us stop at this point, and then you have certain numerical problems which are related to this 4-bar and the slider crank mechanism. You can always practice from the book, right? And if you have any doubt, then ask, right? Because see, the practice thing, it depends upon you. So I just told you like how to draw those vectors, how to calculate magnitudes and all those things. But using the some numerical values, let's say like, and then using proper scale and all those things. So this practice you have to do yourself, right? So okay. So any question, like any doubt which you have till now, till this point?
So, sir, for the exam, numericals will be included from this topic.
Yeah, it could be possible, right? But what I can like tell you that the numericals, if I am going to give from these topics, so first of all, whatever topic I have told you in the class, so just limit yourself only to those topics. So let's say like I have like discussed a few velocity analysis of, let's say like some complex mechanism as well, like let's say like a 6-link mechanism we discussed, right? So just you practice those problems which are similar to almost the problems which I have did in the class, right? So maybe the numerical I can give from this topic, but it will not be like that much typical, right? So that is my point, because this acceleration analysis especially, that I will give a numerical, but it won't be that much typical, right? So this is one point. And another thing, like yesterday one student asked that transmission angle and all those things. So you don't need to go through those. So only read those topics which I have taught in the class, right? So those topics still like they are a part of this. If you are interested, you can always explore those topics, right? So, but for exam purpose, right? So just limit only to those topics which I have taught, right? So anything else like which you want to ask? So any doubt into this, the acceleration analysis anywhere? Maybe in the mid sem I won't be like going that much typical, but in the end sem maybe I will go for subjective examination, because I think MCQs are not possible for this particular course, right? Okay, then shall I end the meeting?
Sir, hello, sir. You are going to share the assignment after the midterm, right?
Yeah, assignment maybe I will share with you, right? So, but I am not going to actually ask you to submit that assignment like before midsem or something like that. So maybe assignment I will share after midsem. Don't worry, right? Because the as I see the numericals and all those things you can always practice, right? So the assignment basically I will be giving something related to SolidWorks and MATLAB. So actually there is a top, see, graphical thing you cannot do in MATLAB. So till now we are discussing only graphical approaches, right? So from the beginning, velocity, acceleration. So once like after midsem, I will start with this analytical approach, or that equations and forming equations and all those things. Then I will give you some problems in SolidWorks and maybe in MATLAB as well, right? So I'm not going to just give you to all of you just to practice numericals and all those things, right? If you wish, you can ask, right? If you wish that, sir, we want something to practice more, because I feel that sufficient number of numericals are there available in the book. But if you wish, you can simply email me that, sir, we want some problems for practicing, right? Otherwise, my assignment will be like mail primarily limited to SolidWorks, MATLAB, and forming equations, like that actually interest you, because otherwise, like this subject will become like slightly boring to all of you, right? So that's what. Okay, so anything else? See, so if you still have any doubt into acceleration analysis and all these things, right, then we can discuss it again and again, no problem. So whatever query you have, just drop me an email. So maybe I will take a separate session if required, right? So don't worry at all. Like if you have doubt, we will discuss some more numericals as well, right? Don't worry. So okay, so shall I end the meeting? Anything else which you want to ask? Okay, then thank you all of you.